I watch a lot of LEGO videos in my free time, and when watching any subgenre of YouTube, you quickly come across some commonalities and quirks. And one of the biggest quirks of LEGO YouTube is the way that alternative brick companies are handled almost as if they're contaminated. From bygone competitors like Mega Bloks to officially licensed Nickelodeon sets to full-on bootlegs. No matter what it is, the average big LEGO tuber speaks about all of these as if they're fucking Voldemort. Granted, there are some channels dedicated entirely to talking about these brands, like The Domain focuses on Mega Halo, and some channels review all brands, big and small, like Jank Bricks. And there's also been a very consistent niche space for custom LEGO minifigures. But on the whole, the way that these alternative methods of engaging with the brick building hobby is often the same way that most general people treat the B word. Bootlegs. For a while, bootlegs have had a stigma, both online and in real life, and still kind of do, especially depending on what subculture or hobby you partake in. Part of this is the melding of the words bootleg and knockoff. To keep it simple, knockoffs are those derpy looking products that look nothing like the official stuff, think your laughably bad products that have been made into memes time and time again, while bootlegs, more often than not, use the exact same molds as the official stuff, granted with a varying degree of plastic quality and paint. And most of the videos talking about fake LEGO are about bootlegs, not knockoffs. Which sort of raises a question. If the items that are directly meant to imitate the official products are made from the exact same plastic molds with slightly dodgier paint and cheaper feeling plastic, why is there still such a massive emphasis on only official LEGO in the general fandom space? The first answer that came to my mind is simple. Money. It's always money. Many of the creators in the brick building space, from the biggest to even the medium-sized ones, want to maintain a good working relationship with LEGO and be a part of their ambassador network. That is allegedly. I do not want to be sued. These people have way more money than I do, which can often lead to great collaborations with the LEGO brand itself. But the network requires a family-friendly atmosphere and views that align with LEGO's beliefs, which I would assume would also not include advertising direct bootlegs online. I should say that I love watching LEGO YouTubers. It's very clear I wouldn't have an opinion on this if I didn't, and I'm not trying to say that your favorite LEGO tuber is getting paid off or some shit. This is just one of those muddy situations. Much like when reviewing games, both hardware and software, there are no paid reviews. That would be illegal and would result in a lot of lawsuits. As long as you're an influencer with a good relationship with a company, they might send you free stuff or invite you to events. But the nature of what that company considers a good relationship varies across the board. I do not think that popular channels getting free LEGO sets makes them positive on the set all of a sudden. I think that all the opinions that we see in those reviews are completely legitimate. It doesn't incentivize positive reviews, and I don't think that most channels do that, but it doesn't deter them either. This, alongside LEGO's shift to accommodate more adult collectors with an emphasis on screen accuracy and the building process rather than play, it almost feels like these sets, and as a result, the hobby is meant for reviewers to sell kids toys. Another problem is simply due to the cultural relevance of LEGO. The brand has existed since 1949 and has garnered a generally positive reception amongst families, not unlike Disney or Nintendo. But the financials is the really impressive part. It's a general known fact that the toy market has been declining for years now, yet LEGO has only been growing with a revenue growth of $10 billion in 2024 alone, partly due to the shifts towards older demographics. So you take market dominance mixed with brand recognition and creator influence, and all of that comes together to give us the fake LEGO trend. The formula of these videos mostly consists of creators purchasing brick sets, whether they're knockoffs, bootlegs, or entirely legitimate alternative sets, and finding some way to directly compare them to LEGO, be it the brick quality or the minifigures themselves. And I gotta say, after spending 48 hours of pretty much only watching these as my main source of entertainment entertainment and research, most of these videos are approached the same way that an American would talk about vegetarian food circa 2003. Most content about fake Lego ends up falling into one of two camps. It either leaves off on the note of, make up your own opinion on whether or not this is good, or the creator will just straight up say, this is why Lego is better. Even if the video is somewhat positive, there's a chance that it will randomly end in the set being destroyed for some reason. Guys, I gotta say that this started and stopped being funny with plain rock. Even some of the more positive reviews about bootlegs and knockoffs do not fully tackle the idea fairly with cost in mind, since some of these videos are sponsored by websites like Temu, and as such, are often treated like a throwaway video meant to shake things up temporarily, rather than an actual product review. And it just leaves a massive crater in the LEGO creator space where nobody talks about how, as the company begins to conveniently raise their prices, this hobby can still be inexpensive. Right now, the alternative brick scene is thriving. Sure, there's the $140 sets from companies like Lumen Bricks and other places, and those are cool if a bit out of my price range, but there are still alternatives that you don't have to only go online for. Mega sort of went under and is now Mattel Brick Shop, leaving the Halo license in a pretty rocky space until the next mainline game, but there are others. Builder through Jazzwares, despite having some lackluster licenses, has some of the best cost per piece ratio with themed accessory packs for only $5, as well as some sets based on more mature brands that LEGO wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Same with Brickcraft and their licensed Futurama and Family Guy sets. Who the hell even knew that these existed? Probably not you, because Builder is in the anime section 2 aisles away from LEGO and Targets, and Brickcraft is only carried in Walmart. Dollar Tree, yes Dollar Tree, I'm fucking serious. Outside of their ridiculous tactic to raise item prices recently, they still have mini building sets for $1.75, some of which are legitimately good for mocks, mainly their city stuff. Five Below has their own mini sets of accessories for a couple bucks. I got this pretty sweet soda fountain and a couple office desks from it. And they also carry Snap and Switch, who make officially licensed sets for SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles, and even shows like Spy Family and Solo Leveling, all with a minifigure, each for $5. Yes, these are smaller sets. Yes, they vary in quality, both from general builds to the figures themselves. I understand that these are not going to scratch the same itch as a $40 LEGO set. It's just a little ridiculous that when we talk about certain themes like SpongeBob, it's only about the LEGO line, which ended 12 years ago, and that's it, as if the license began and ended with that one company. Sometimes it's not just about price. Sometimes the fake is just a better product. Before Mega imploded, RIP, they had some of the same big licenses as LEGO, such as Marvel, SpongeBob, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And sometimes their micro action figures just ended up fitting respective characters better than the standard LEGO minifigure. Case in point, Plankton has ears in Snap and Switch instead of the weird fucking 1x1 cylinder. What the fuck is this? On the flip side, Nintendo's collaboration with LEGO has been a bit of a roller coaster. From a $200 set as the only way to get official Link and Zelda minifigures, to the baffling decision of refraining from making Super Mario minifigs at all. Instead, making these weird brick-built figures with battery-operated integrated screens for the eyes and the chest. And if you don't have it on, it looks evil as shit. Not to mention that it costs $40 to obtain a character individually. And yet, somehow, the custom market has been giving people okay to pretty good minifigure alternatives for years now. Almost longer than LEGO has even had the license. Also for a fraction of the cost. Even YouTubers who have primarily negative opinions about LEGO's modern output still have this sort of brand loyalty, like it's the fucking console wars. And it's so odd. The justification for this language, for looking at other brands solely through the lens of not being authentic, it's corporate speak. Sorry to burst your bubble, Charlie, but this is literally how brands talk about their own products. It's no different from when Nintendo complains about emulation for the millionth time, or when music companies complain about piracy. I am playing up the severity of the situation a little bit because 1, it's a YouTube video, and 2, when you look at this in any hobby space, it's a ridiculous idea. This notion of of being legit has to be achieved by only engaging with the most popular, most expensive part of a hobby, and you have to ignore all alternatives is just reductive and frankly anti-consumer. Not only are companies forced to progress and improve through competition, but we, as hardcore fans of this hobby, should not just put up with any brand's anti-consumer practices solely because it's sold to us as the nature of the hobby. We've been seeing this general rejection of the you get what you get mentality with the rising popularity of unofficial emulation, as well as pushback against subscription services. Hell, if you want a positive example of a very alive fandom where bootlegs just exist positively, Transformers has been going strong for 4 decades now, and those guys embraced bootlegs years ago. I say those guys as if I don't have a big bin of Transformers right behind me. Many of these bootlegs fill spaces in collections that Hasbro and Takara either overvalue or will just never get around to making. And these bootlegs being produced every year has never stopped the two from coexisting. I feel like I should make it really clear that I do like LEGO a lot. I have a stop motion animation channel, and some of my most popular stuff is made using official LEGO sets. I like the LEGO store. Pick-a-Brick is one of the coolest things ever. I like the customer service. The rewards program is really nice. There are benefits to buying LEGO outside of the sets themselves. And also, LEGO isn't evil. They're just a company. One that's had record profits and is now finding reasons to still raise their prices as the country heads towards financial uncertainty. If you like the brand reliability, quality assurance, and the availability of LEGO and you want to stick with that, I get it. And up to a certain price point, so will I. As long as you enjoy it, go for it. But if you are unhappy with the sets, the prices, or any part of that experience, there are other options for you. LEGO offers decades of instructions on their website if you want to source bricks from elsewhere. Minifigs are resold in the secondhand market or often have bootleg equivalents. There's a very good chance that there's a local store nearby you that offers used sets, even though there are some that will highly overprice items, good lord. Regardless of what you may think from either watching the biggest creators online or just buying LEGO itself, you do not need to only engage with LEGO the way the brand wants you to. It is a hobby, one that drives off of creativity. You're supposed to enjoy it, so enjoy it. Don't grin and bear it, don't put up with anything, and don't feel like you have to purchase something. Do what you want to do with your money and your passion, regardless of the fact if it's considered legit or not.
Build a Batman adventure with Batman C3. Create, construct, customize.
I built the Batmobile with Batman C3.
And the Batcave with the Batcomputer and the Radar Tower.
I built Batman's secret elevator too.
So Joker, the joke's on you. Batcave calling the Batmobile, Batmobile fire up, Joker down.